Maddie's fridge. When Sophia and Maddi played at the park, they stretched their toes to the sky. They climbed on the top of the ladder and flew off the end of the slide. They stayed until the buildings grew long shadows and even taxis stopped honking. "Let's play on the climbing wall," Maddi said. "No way," Sophie said. "I can't reach." "Yes way," Maddi scooted up to the top of the wall. "Your turn." Sophia put a foot on the bottom rock, grabbed one with a hand, and stretched, but she couldn't reach the next hold. Sophia's stomach growled. "I give up. Let's get a snack." "No way," Maddi said. "Let's stay here." "Yes way," Sophia ran to Maddi's building and raced up the stairs. "Wait," Maddi ran after her. Maddi was the best climber, but Sophia was the fastest runner. Sophia swung open the door of Maddi's fridge. "What do you got?" "We have milk," Maddi said. "I'm saving it for Ryan. He's still little." "Why does your mama go to the store?" "We don't have enough money." "But if you get hungry." "We have some bread," Maddi said. "I guess I'll go home to eat," Sophia said. "Please don't tell anyone," Maddi said. "Okay? Promise." "I promise." Sophia ran home past the bookstore and grocery store. The sun went down behind the building and took all the color with it. "Good timing," Mom said. "Dinner's almost ready." Lois was wrestling on the floor with Pippo. Sophia opened the refrigerator door. Pippo peeked inside. Sophia's fridge was full of milk, eggs and tortillas and cheese and lettuce and jam and salsa and tofu and even half a can of dog food. "Here you go," Mom said. Sophia and Lois each had a plate of fish and rice. Mom had a plate of fish and rice. Even Pippo had a bowl of his dog food with a little bit of fish and rice. Maddi and Ryan only had some bread and a small carton of milk. Sophia couldn't tell Mom she had to keep her promise to Maddi. "Not fish again," Louis said. "I wanted cheesy pizza bombs." "Cheesy pizza bombs are a treat," Mom said. "Fish is a good sort of protein." "Is fish good for kids?" Sophia asked. "Yes," Mom said. "Fish is perfect for kids." That night, Sophie had an idea. "Yuck," Maddi said the next day. "Oh," Sophie said, "double yuck. Fish may be good for kids, but fish is not good for backpacks." After school, Sophia and Maddi raced to the climbing wall. Sophia got there first, but Maddi scrambled past her on the top of the wall. Sophia stretched and stretched. "Keep trying," Maddi said. "You'll get it." "I can't," Sophia jumped up and down. "It's too high." That night, Sophia, Lois, and Mom ate frita. Pippo had his dog food, a little bit of frita. Maddi and Ryan still had an empty refrigerator. Sophia couldn't ask for help. That would break her promise. She had to try it again. "Are eggs good for kids?" Sophia asked. "Not as good as cheesy pizza bombs," Lois said. "Cheesy pizza bombs are a treat," Mom said. "Eggs are good for you." After dinner, Sophia packed eggs for Maddi and Ryan. "Yuck," Maddi said. "Double yuck," Sophie said. "Eggs may be good for kids, but eggs are not good for backpacks." Sophia and Maddi raced to the climbing wall. Sophia won again, but Maddi shot past her to the top of the wall. Sophia grabbed one hold and reached for the next and came down with a thump. "That happens sometimes," Maddi called. "It's impossible," Sophia said. "Keep trying," Maddi said. "You'll get it." That night, Sophia, Lois, and Mom had burritos. Pippo had his dog food with a little bit of burrito and no salsa. Maddi and Ryan saw an empty fridge. Sophia wished that she hadn't promised Maddi. "Are burritos good for kids?" Sophia asked. "Burritos are very good for you," Mom said. "Not as good as," Louis started to say. "You should pay attention to nutrition like your sister," Mom said. The next morning, Sophia put 2 burritos in her backpack, along with a tortilla, beans, cheese, and even some milk. No thanks," Maddi said. "You haven't even looked," Sophia said. "Is it fish?" Maddi asked. "No." "Is it eggs?" "No." "Is it gross?" "I don't know," Sophie said. Maddi shook the backpack. Something sloshed. "Let's look together," Maddi said. 1, 2, 3, go! Burritos are good for kids and good for backpacks too. "Do you want some milk?" Sophie said. "Thanks," Maddi said, "but I saved the milk for Ryan." Sophia and Maddi raced to the climbing wall. Sophia won as usual and tried to climb. "You can do it," Maddi said. "Take my hand." "Woohoo! I made it to the top!" Sophia shouted. "We're the tallest kids at the park," Maddi said. "Thanks for helping me, Maddi. I couldn't do it alone." Maddi shrugged. "That's what friends are for." After they finished playing, Sophia walked home past the bookstore and the grocery store, and she thought and thought and thought. Her own fridge was full of milk and juice and chicken and yogurt and bread and carrots and even half a can of dog food. Maddie's fridge only had 2 tortillas and a cup of beans and a bit of cheese and a little bit more milk than before. Sophia didn't want to break her promise, but she couldn't help Maddie alone. Sophia told. She hoped Maddie wouldn't be mad. "I'm glad you told me," Mom said. "Let's see what we can do together." They loaded grocery bags with milk, flour, chicken, carrots, sugar, oil, and even frozen meat and vegetables. Lois pulled his package of cheesy pizza bombs out of the freezer. He thought, and thought, and thought some more. Then he put his cheesy pizza bombs in Maddie's and Ryan's bag. "For a treat," he said. At Maddie's apartment, the moms talked. Lois and Ryan played. Sophie and Maddie ran to the park. "You broke your promise," Maddie said. "I'm sorry," Sophie said. "Are you mad?" "A promise is important," Maddie said. You're more important, Sophie said. "I wanted you to have some milk too." Maddie smiled. "Are we still friends?" Sophie asked. "Always," Maddie said. "Double always," Sophie said. "Cheesy pizza bombs," Lois yelled. "Our moms made cheesy pizza bombs for a treat." Sophie and Maddie raced up the stairs. Sophie slowed down so they could run together. That's what friends are for.